On November 6, 2015, a Reddit user named Bangarang made a bizarre and haunting post that read,
"Need $700,000. What should I do? I need it by January 2016, or I'm dead. From the mob."
But oddly enough, this plea wasn't posted in r/advice or r/legal. It appeared in a music fan subreddit called r/sadboys, a place dedicated to Swedish rapper Young Lean. The mismatch left readers confused. Some assumed it was an inside joke, others thought it might be a strange metaphor tied to the music. That was until Bangarang began replying, sincere, almost desperate. And then came the eerie image, blurry figures standing in the street, cars behind them, the photo clearly taken from the shadows, as if the poster was hiding, watching and terrified. Eventually, Bangarang opened up. He confessed to being involved in a desert fight where a man was killed. There were drugs, gang affiliations, probation violations, and a growing list of criminal charges. And now someone wanted him dead, unless he could pay $700,000. A fellow user advised him to get arrested for protection, let police escort him to safety, or flee the country entirely, but a day later, silence. Bangarang never responded again. There were no more comments, updates, or anything else. To this day, no one knows who he was or what happened after. The image he posted can't be verified, his account a throwaway, and the truth likely buried with him, if the mob did catch up. Was it a hoax, a cry for help, or the last message from a man whose time was running out?
One thing's certain, Reddit has never forgotten him.
In November 2013, a now-deleted Reddit user posted a chilling encounter on r Let's Not Meet. What started as a simple tech setup turned into something far more sinister. The poster, a teenager living in Brisbane, Australia, had recently installed an AV transmitter, one part connected to his living room's cable box upstairs, the other to his TV downstairs. The goal? To enjoy cable in his room without paying for a second box. He hooked everything up, but the screen remained black. Then suddenly, the screen fuzzed and a clear image popped up. A bedroom. At first, he thought it was his own, until panic set in. It wasn't. He rushed upstairs to tell his sister. When they returned, the feed was still active, but neither recognized the room. Hours later, with their parents now involved, the feed came to life again. This time, a man appeared. Their father immediately recognized him. It was their neighbor. Somehow, their AV receiver had picked up a live surveillance feed from the house next door. It didn't stop there. The feed kept broadcasting their neighbor's bedroom for a full week. One day, they watched as a plumber, one who had been working on renovations, walked into frame and stared straight into the hidden camera. Their father alerted the neighbor, who was shocked and unaware. The police were called. When they investigated, they found a small hidden camera embedded in the wall. Soon after, they noticed a strange car parked nearby every night. A man inside would sit with a laptop, never leaving, then vanish before sunrise. Police traced him. It was the same plumber. He was arrested. The story ends there. No update on the charges, no follow-up.
Just a camera, a hidden feed, and the uneasy feeling that they'd been watching and watched without ever knowing it.
On May 1st, 2015, a Reddit user going by rbradbury1920 made a strange and unsettling post that quickly caught fire. He believed someone had been breaking into his apartment, not to steal, but to leave post-it notes. It began subtly. A yellow note on his desk reminded him of errands he had never told anyone about. Days later, another appeared on the back of his chair, warning him to save his documents. Concerned, he installed a webcam aimed at his desk. Then a third note arrived. This time it read, "Our landlord isn't letting me talk to you, but it's important." But when he checked his webcam recordings, they were gone. Even his recycling bin had been emptied. A blank post-it then appeared on the outside of his door. And shockingly, dozens more appeared across the building, all blank and in different colors. The tension grew. Could it be the landlord? That theory gained traction when R. Bradbury compared the handwriting on the notes to a letter from his landlord, and they matched. Some users thought he was hallucinating. Others suspected something more sinister. But one user, Cakerlack, saw a third possibility: carbon monoxide poisoning. He noticed details in Bradbury's past posts: a narrow windowless bedroom over a garage. It all clicked. Carbon monoxide can cause confusion, memory loss, and hallucinations. The OP responded, admitting he'd been having bad headaches and that a CO detector was still in its box. He plugged it in. That simple comment likely saved his life. Years later, in a Reddit podcast collab, it was confirmed. The building had poor ventilation. Bradbury was indeed suffering from mild poisoning. The one thing never explained? Why did the notes look like his landlord's handwriting? But perhaps the mind, when clouded, fills in blanks you didn't even know existed. Just 4 months ago, a Redditor made a post on r/creepy titled, "Found a bunch of these in the woods. What am I looking at?" The image attached showed a torn slip of paper, covered in rambling, incoherent text about politics, conspiracies, and strange ideas. At first glance, it looked like the work of someone spiraling into paranoia, but it wasn't just one note. The poster said he kept walking and eventually found 6 of them, each bizarre, each tied up and left deliberately in different places along the trail. Reddit users quickly dismissed it as a case of untreated mental illness. The handwriting, tone, and disjointed references hinted at schizophrenia. But then someone dropped a link that changed everything. These weren't isolated. They were part of a much bigger mystery. A phenomenon known locally as the show kill notes, first seen online in 2019, then officially reported in 2020, these strange scraps of paper have been found all over northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Not just in woods or trails, but sealed inside food packages, makeup containers, even cereal boxes. Yes, sealed. The FDA is now involved and investigations have been ongoing since late 2023. Many of the finds are centered around Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania, which gave the notes their name. So far, no one has been able to explain how these papers are getting inside unopened products. Some think the person behind it works in packaging, slipping them in at the factory. Others believe there could be more than one person, but no one knows for sure. And with another note found just 2 days ago, one thing is clear. Someone is still doing this. Why? No one knows. But the unease it spreads is very, very real. On Google Maps, buried in the industrial outskirts of Los Angeles, something unusual appeared. Massive letters spelling out help. At first glance, they look like they were arranged using scrap materials. Wooden planks, pipes, even construction debris. But help wasn't the only word. Zooming in revealed a series of other phrases: Trafico, Terrorismo, FBI, LAPD. Together they painted an ominous picture, fueling a flood of speculation. Had someone fallen victim to human trafficking? Was this a warning? A desperate plea? The location didn't help calm nerves. The area was barren, surrounded by cargo containers, a setup not uncommon in trafficking operations. Even more unsettling was the large crater-like hole nearby. Reddit exploded with theories. Eventually, internet sleuths tracked down some answers. Locals around the site pointed to a man named Jose, who was believed to be behind the messages. According to a few homeless individuals, Jose had been creating these displays for years. No one knew why. Some said it was protest art, others thought it was the result of paranoia or trauma. Authorities eventually responded. The land turned out to be private property owned by Union Pacific Police, and they dismissed the scene as harmless trespassing. Still, they gave no clear answer about Jose, or whether he'd ever been questioned.
Okay, what's the name of the dog?
Seuss.
Seuss?
Yeah,
and
Seuss.
Seuss belongs to someone
Yeah,
here? Sorry, man.
Yeah, I'm careful. I'm careful.
Yeah.
Seuss belongs to, she has an owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that dog is named Seuss.
Seuss. His name
And
is
Seuss
Seuss.
has an owner, because you know what? She was tied up in the rain.
He
was tied, I thought it was a he. But
Yeah.
he was tied up in the rain.
Oh, wow.
And so I was filming because everybody wants to know why there's the help sign. You see all those helps?
Oh, this one guy, he puts that.
Is that guy's name Jose?
Yes.
Okay, that's what they told me too.
Yeah, that's what I say.
So
Yeah.
there's a guy named Jose who just keeps putting
He
help.
always, yes, he does that.
And is Jose here?
He's not here, but he's always like on that side of, like under the bridge, like.
And he just messes around?
Always writes that down. Yes, all the time.
The
Come on.
reason people are probably coming today is because they put it online.
Yeah, no, he's the one that puts it all the time. I'm not, but he puts it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, he writes it everywhere. I don't know if you've seen it everywhere.
Yeah, there's like help
Come on.
and then a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff in Spanish.
Yeah,
and,
he puts it. That's supposedly human trafficking.
human trafficking. That's what everybody's saying online is that they're worried about it. Is it that, or is it like a prank? I guess
We don't know. I mean, he just always, for some reason, it's been years that he's been doing that.
Yeah, it's been on. Google Maps shows it.
But we, really, I don't know.
Yeah.
He just always writes that down.
Yeah.
For what reason,
Yeah.
I do not know.
No,
But
I don't. Yeah.
Come on.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.
Even the FaZe clan visited the site and live streamed their experience. They were chased off by guard dogs and a warning truck, leaving more questions than answers. Was Jose trying to raise awareness or warning the world? With no clear motive, no known background, and no charges filed, Jose vanished into rumor. And yet the giant messages remained silently broadcasting from above, haunting, cryptic, and very, very real. In 2013, an image quietly began circulating online. A handwritten plea from a 96-year-old woman named Nancy Thomas. Frail, aging, and visibly emotional. She asked for help finding her son, Donald Lee Thomas, born in 1954, last seen in Atlanta, Georgia. The message was heartbreaking. She hadn't given him up for adoption and hadn't heard from him in over a decade. Her health was fading and time was slipping away. The photo, originally posted to Facebook, quickly caught fire. The internet responded with kindness. People began sharing the image, digging through records, contacting contacts, even calling hospitals and shelters, hoping to find Donald. Then, almost like a miracle, news came back. A man saw the post. He recognized Donald. Through that lead, the impossible happened. Nancy's son was found. Sometime in mid-2013, Nancy got the call she had longed for. After years of silence, she spoke to her son once again. According to a family update on Twitter, the reunion brought tears and relief to Nancy and everyone who had rallied behind her. It was a rare moment of digital compassion, a reminder that strangers can change lives simply by caring. Sadly, a few years later, Nancy passed away. Records show she lived until 2018, reaching the age of 101. But before her time came, she got her wish. She heard her son's voice again. In the sea of internet noise, this story stands out. It wasn't about fame or controversy. It was about a mother, a son, and a community that made the impossible possible. Sometimes all it takes is a photo and people willing to look closer.